My husband disappeared on our honeymoon 5 years later. I found him in the most unexpected place. You have the wrong person, he said, his eyes refusing to meet mine. But I would recognize those eyes anywhere, pretend the same eyes I'd gazed into as we exchanged vows, the same eyes I'd searched for in every crowd for 5 years after he vanished from our hotel room in Bali, leaving behind only his wedding ring and a note that read, I am sorry I can't do this. I never expected to find Michael working behind the counter of a small bookstore in Portland, 3,000 miles from where we'd built our life together in Boston. I was only in Portland for a conference, had wandered into the shop on a rainy afternoon to kill time before my flight home. Your name isn't Michael Brennan. My voice was surprisingly steady despite the earthquake happening inside me. You didn't marry a woman named Claire in 2018. You didn't disappear from the Yovet Hanging Gardens resort leaving everything behind. His hands trembled as he placed the book he was holding onto the counter. The store was empty except for us. 5 years, Michael. 5 years of not knowing if you were dead or alive. Your parents held a memorial service after the second year. He flinched at the mention of his parents. Claire, you need to go now. Not until you tell me why. My voice finally broke. I deserve that much. He glanced nervously at the door before leading me to a small office in the back. The moment the door closed, his carefully constructed facade crumbled. I never meant to hurt you, he began, his voice so familiar it physically ached to hear it. The morning we were supposed to go snorkeling, I got a call from someone I used to work with at the investment firm. Michael had been an analyst at a prestigious financial company before we met. It was where he'd made the money for our lavish wedding and honeymoon. He told me the FBI was investigating the firm for money laundering, but they had evidence with my name all over it. His eyes finally met mine. Evidence that had been fabricated. I was set up, Claire. My signature was forged on documents authorizing transfers to offshore accounts. My boss had been stealing from clients for years and positioned me as the fall guy. I stared at him in disbelief. So you just disappeared? Without telling me anything, they threatened you, he said quietly. They sent photos of you at your office at your sister's house. Said if I didn't take the blame and flee, they'd make sure you had an accident. I couldn't risk it, so you let me think you were dead, or worse, that our entire relationship had been a lie. The anger I'd suppressed for years finally surfaced. I could have helped you. We could have gone to the authorities together. These weren't people who played by the rules, Claire. My boss had connections everywhere. I couldn't trust anyone. He ran his hands through his hair, a nervous habit I remembered so well. By the time I realized I'd made the wrong choice, it was too late. You had moved on. Moved on. I laughed bitterly. I've been in therapy for 5 years. I changed my name. I moved 3 times because I couldn't bear to be in spaces that reminded me of you. What happened to your boss? I finally asked. Federal prison 3 years ago. I've been trying to build evidence to clear my name since then, working with a lawyer who specializes in financial crimes. I looked around the tiny office at this man who was simultaneously my husband and a stranger, and thus I gestured to the bookstore. The owner knows my situation. Cash payments, no questions asked. He hesitated. Claire, I never stopped loving you, not for a single day. I stood up abruptly. I'm staying at the Hilton downtown, room 718. I fly out tomorrow at 6 p.m. I am saying I need 24 hours to process finding my dead husband very much alive and selling poetry books in Portland. As I reached the door, he called out, Are you with someone now? I paused, my hand on the doorknob. Number dating is difficult when you are not sure if you are a widow or just abandoned. That night I didn't sleep. At 8:37 the next morning there was a knock on my hotel room door. Michael stood there holding a thick folder and looking like he hadn't slept either. This is everything, he said. The evidence my lawyer has gathered, the timeline of what happened, everything I've been doing for 5 years. He held out the folder. Whether you look at it or not is up to you. I just needed you to have the truth. I took the folder but didn't open it. I have a question first. If your boss is in prison, why are you still hiding? His eyes met mine, clear and direct for the first time. I am not hiding anymore. I was coming to find you next month. My lawyer says we're ready to file for full exoneration. I don't know what happens next. I don't know if 5 years of grief and anger can be undone with explanations in a manila folder. I don't know if I still love the man standing before me or just the memory of who he was.